communities, and we all need to do our level best to ensure that we are reducing the spread. And so Alana is working hard from her home on the phones, contacting constituents, asking them to go out and support Alana. And I would further ask all residents of Prince Albert to get out and support either Joe Hargrave in PA Carleton or Alana Ross in Prince Albert Northcote, so that you can have a voice in the Saskatchewan Party caucus, have a voice so that we may continue to invest on your behalf in schools, in hospitals, in highways across this province. Prince Albert has been well represented over the course of the last 13 years, and we're asking you to support Alana and Joe so that we can continue with that representation from Prince Albert. We have invested in schools in this city. We have invested, and we are going to invest, continue to invest in a renewed Victoria Hospital right here in the city of Prince Albert, an important piece of infrastructure, and expanded services and expanded beds to service not only the people of this city, but to service the people from the surrounding region, and to service all of those throughout northern Saskatchewan. So expanded services, expanded capacity, most certainly a piece of infrastructure that has been needed for some time. I would put forward has been needed ever since the NDP knocked down the Holy Family Hospital here in my neighboring city of Prince Albert. So again, happy to be here this morning to talk about the vision that the Saskatchewan Party has on behalf of everyone in this province, on behalf of the people of Prince Albert, how we are going to move forward in ensuring that we can continue to recover the economy in this province. We are going to reduce the small business tax rate to zero. We are going to reduce everyone's SAS Power bill, whether that be families, whether that be small businesses, whether that be farms, by 10%, to save people money, to ensure that they are investing back into their local economy. And people, I believe, over the course of the next few months with their disposable income, whether they're a business or a family, will be investing back into their local economy, because ultimately there isn't a lot of international travel that is happening right now due to this COVID-19 virus. So we are working hard to ensure that we can foster that economic recovery. We're working hard to continue to invest in our community, $7.5 billion over the course of the next 2 years. If we have the honor to form government tomorrow evening, that will continue to be invested in schools. It'll be invested in a hospital right here in Prince Albert, hospitals in other communities across the province, as well as investing in our highways to ensure that our goods can get out of our areas, but also to ensure that our families are safe as they travel on those very same highways. Again, we invested in twinning the highway between Prince Albert and Saskatoon a number of years ago, ensuring safer travel, but also ensuring the opportunity to get our goods out of this area. At the very beginning of this campaign, I had asked the people of this province a very simple but a very important question, and I would ask it again today on this Sunday morning in the city of Prince Albert, the day before our election day. Who do you trust to recover the economy in the province of Saskatchewan? We have been faced with a year unlike any other year that we have been faced. We have a generation now that has been asked to do something more than we have ever been asked in addressing and stopping the spread of this COVID-19 virus. We are doing so. We are reopening our economy, and we need to recover that economy. We need to get back to growing our economy and growing our opportunities so that next generation, our children, have every opportunity to succeed and receive the investments that we have received in our communities over the course of the last 13 years. That includes investments right into the city of Prince Albert. So tomorrow is election day, October the 26th. Polls will be open all day. People in Prince Albert, I'd ask you to get out and support Joe Hargrave in Prince Albert Carleton. Get out and support Lana Ross in Prince Albert Northcote. We have two fine Saskatchewan Party candidates here that are vying to be your representative in our Saskatchewan Party caucus. So, thank you. With that, if there's any questions that you may have, Joe would be happy to answer them. How are you?
Good. I'm
Good.
cold.
Oh, it's a beautiful morning.
When Ryan Miley was here last time, he said that Prince Albert has not been well represented under a Sask Party government, and he's basically saying the opposite of what you are. You elect two NDPers here to get better representation for Prince Albert.
Yeah.
What's your response to that?
Well, that's just an untrue statement. It's this government that has moved forward with building a renewed and expanded Victoria Hospital, committed to that. Not only did we commit to doing that, we committed to funding 100% of that facility, understanding that it services much more than just the people that live in the city of Prince Albert. It services, for example, the community where I live, just down the road in Shelburne. It services this province's entire north. And that is why, through representation that we have had over the course of the last 13 years, and representation that we hope to have in Joe and Alana over the course of the next 4 years, we can continue to make decisions just like that on behalf of the people in this province. The NDP record is one that is quite different. They ripped down the Holy Family Hospital here in this city. They didn't replace it with any expansion of beds at the Victoria Hospital. That was a hospital that I was born at, actually, here in this community. They ripped it down. Further to that, Mr. Miley had came into this city. He said, promised a number of goodies, including he wants to build a hospital, a couple $100 million more even than what we had put forward. And he didn't put it in his spending platform. He has $4 billion in uncosted spending, reckless uncosted spending in his platform. And nowhere in there are any of the commitments that he made here in Prince Albert, which doesn't make them real. And he should be asked the question, how is he going to pay for the things that he has put forward that he wants to spend on behalf of this community? They're not real promises. They're pie-in-the-sky ideas that have ran through his head. This is a government that always has been represented by the people in Prince Albert, and we're asking for that to continue into the future. That was a short question to a long answer.
I guess kind of just to follow up on that.
Short answer to a long question, sorry.
Like last time Ryan Miley was here, he brought out an old STC bus and parked it in front of Joe's office and held a press conference.
Yeah, a stunt, a political stunt.
Yeah, can you just talk about your relationship with Joe specifically, and what do you think he's done for the people of Prince Albert, and what you're seeing from him at the cabinet table?
Well, I will go back to the fact. Let's go through where Joe has served as a minister of our CIC, our Crown Investment Corporation, as well as SGI. Joe has sat at the highest levels of the cabinet committees that we have, chairing the CIC committee, working closely not only with myself but with other cabinet ministers on all issues relevant to Saskatchewan people, and most certainly issues relevant to the Crown corporations here in the province. From a local perspective, Joe has been the guy that had come forward and ensured that the government is aware of and is consulting the appropriate people when it comes to building a new Victoria Hospital. Joe has been the guy that has said, the Victoria Hospital services many more people than just those that live in Prince Albert, and we should have a very serious conversation around the 20% local share that are required, and we should think about funding that, considering that it services a vast regional area as well as the northern half of the province of Saskatchewan. The centre of Saskatchewan is still north of here, and we should remember that. And this hospital in this city services all of those people that live north of this city. Joe has also been working very hard to ensure, and we're not too far from Ecole Valois downtown here, that we are engaging with the appropriate people on how do we ensure that the people in our school system, whether it be the public school system, whether it be the Catholic school system, or whether it be our French school system here in the province, we're having the conversations to ensure that we have the capacity, the infrastructure capacity, to serve the students not only today, but to serve them in 3 and 5 and 10 years. And those are just a couple of examples of conversations that we have had with Joe Hargrave at the highest levels of government. And I can go on with respect to the economic conversations and the opportunities that we have here in this area over the course of the next 3, 5, and 10 years. I'm very bullish on the opportunities we have in the Prince Albert area from an economic perspective. That's why we are investing in a new and expanded Victoria Hospital here as well. We feel that the people that are not only living here today, but are going to live here tomorrow, are going to need that capacity in healthcare. That's why we're stepping forward. That's why we're making the commitment. That's why we put it in our costing document like the NDP, because we're actually going to do it if we have the honour of forming government. And we're asking the people of Prince Albert to support a Saskatchewan Party government by electing Joe Hargrave and Alana Ross tomorrow. Anything to add, Joe?
I think he covered it.
Speaking of Alana, how is her condition?
She has from what I understand, she has no symptoms. She was in contact, I believe, earlier this week with someone and was contacted through contact tracing. So Alana, out of advice of contact tracers and an abundance of caution, like so many across this province, are adhering to that public health advice. She is at home. She'll be tested, and she will she will be calling constituents from home, getting her vote out from her home. So her condition is just like you and I, but she was contacted by the contact tracing team and is adhering to the advice that they've provided.
Okay. So what is your response to people being unable to vote due to COVID-19?
Yeah, I understand that there is a small gap there. Listen, Elections Saskatchewan has made every effort possible for for everyone to have the opportunity to vote. I understand there is a small gap for people post October 20th that have been asked to isolate, such as Alana's case, where they are too late to get a mail-in ballot. So that is a question, I think, for Elections Saskatchewan as to how they arrived at that decision. It is that way. We have constituents that I serve as well that we've been working through the very same situation. But that's a question best directed to Elections Saskatchewan. I don't have an answer for that.
How does it feel to campaign during a pandemic?
Different, very, very different. Joe, I'll maybe just ask you as far as in Prince Albert on the doorsteps, but here we are speaking into microphones from from a safe distance away. We have a mask in our pocket. You have one around your neck. Very, very different. Not large groups. We had a couple of car rallies this week. We didn't have people, hundreds and maybe thousands of people coming together. But we've done so safely, and as I said yesterday, I think this is a time for us to thank all candidates of all parties, as well as all of those teams that are supporting those candidates. We have done so, I think, quite safely here across the province, and they deserve a thank you from myself. Joe, do you want to speak a little bit to on the doorsteps? What have you have experienced at the local level here in Prince Albert with respect to the differences between campaigning last time and campaigning this time?
Thank you, Premier. Thank you. It has been quite different. I mean, like Premier said, we're wearing these, so we go up and we'll ring the doorbell, and we'll step back the 6 feet, 8 feet or more. So it's been a lot more work knocking on people's doors, but still those conversations are happening, and they're positive conversations. And for the most part, people are going, "You've done a great job with how you've handled the pandemic. And you've done a great job here in Prince Albert, and we're very supportive of myself." So I've been very fortunate on the doors out there, but we've been out every day. We're going out again today, and we'll go out again tomorrow. So we want to make sure that we get a chance to talk to everybody that we can, and we want everybody to get out and beyond get their vote and have their voice heard. So we're pretty grateful that we haven't contracted it, or we haven't been in contact, that we can just wear the mask and get out there and stay talking to people. So it's a lot different than last time, but we've been out there every day and working hard. Any other questions? I can also tell you a few things other things that we've done in Prince Albert. We got the new water reservoir, we got the new aquatic and arena center coming. We've 49 homes, living units for the most vulnerable, 12 habitat homes. So a lot of the speed bumps and the speed signs in the school zones, that's all funded through the traffic safety fund that we set up, that I set up as part of SGI. So I'm pretty happy with a lot of the things that we've got here in Prince Albert. So I'm gonna keep working as the representative of Prince Albert. And bring Alana along with me, and between the two of us, we're going to represent Prince Albert well. Okay.
How does it feel to be on the last day of the campaign? How's your confidence level?
Feels great. I won't speak to the confidence level or where the support is going to land as we go into election day here in Saskatchewan, but I feel we've ran a strong campaign here across the province, a strong campaign here in Prince Albert with Joe and Alana, and a campaign that has spoken to the people of this province. We've ran a campaign that will make life more affordable for Saskatchewan families, and we've ran a campaign that will foster an economic recovery here in the province. That recovery, as I have said, is already underway. We have the lowest unemployment rate in the nation. We allowed more people to work in some way, shape, or form throughout this pandemic. We reopened our economy, our communities, our schools safely, and as swiftly as anywhere in the nation. And we're very proud of not what we have done, but very proud of what Saskatchewan people have done to ensure that we can continue down this path, the path of yes, an economic recovery, but the path of ensuring that we can get back to some degree of normalcy in our communities, get back to all of us getting back to work and generating, the great economic engine that we have in Saskatchewan. More locally, here in the Prince Albert region, I am also, very happy and very bullish on where we're going. Joe has been a great representative over the course of the last 4 years, not only on behalf of the people in Prince Albert to the government, but also alongside the people of Prince Albert with respect to attracting economic investment here. And I think we have great opportunities in Prince Albert. The government of Saskatchewan, up to and leading into the writ period, feels very bullish and thinks there are great opportunities here in Prince Albert over the course of the next number of years. That's why we're investing in schools. That's why we're investing in recreational centers for families that live here and are coming here. And that's why we're investing in a renewed and expanded Victoria Hospital, and that's why we're paying for it 100%. We're very, very, very happy to be part of Prince Albert's future, and we're asking for your support today and tomorrow, more importantly at the polls, to elect Joe Hargrave in Prince Albert Carleton and to elect Alana Ross in Prince Albert Northcote. Thank you, everybody.